That's a very diplomatic, beautiful way of saying, in my world, use him. I just like, I love my car. I use my car. It's in a good place, and men have no problem as long as they feel that there's a reward. And what is the reward? The reward is that she is in a happier place. She feels safer. She feels more comfortable. It's acknowledged, and then that makes her happier. But her job is to find her happiness and we didn't go so far into as it is in my book, but it's all about women finding this hormonal balance of coming back to their estrogen side. And I'm not implying that they should take estrogen. I'm implying they can make it. Many women are being taught, well, you just make less and less as you get older and menopause, you're not going to be making it. And that's all nonsense. Women's adrenal gland continues to make plenty of estrogen for them. But to make the estrogen, you have to do the behaviors. You have to feel it inside. When you feel you can depend on someone, and when you're feeling trust, when you're feeling love, when you're feeling appreciation, when you're feeling happy, any of those feelings, you're making estrogen at that time. And one of the challenges, I just want to toss it in here, is a crisis in the world, which is with all the pesticides that are put into our food and our water supply. They get into our body. And in scientific terms, they're called xenoestrogens. That means your body can't tell the difference between a pesticide and an estrogen. It binds with your estrogen receptors throughout your body. And what that does is it sends a message to your brain that you don't need to make estrogen. And when you say you don't have to make estrogen, you stop feeling your need for a relationship. It frees you to go to your male side. I don't need a man. And it's really hard to come back to feeling I'm hungry for intimacy. I'm hungry for that romance. I'm hungry to share with someone. I'm hungry to feel like I don't have to drive all the time. Is that the feel that hunger for that is to feel your need. And when your body gets estrogen, because when you're feeling your need and you're getting your need met, that's how estrogen goes up. And for women who are still cycling, 5 days after your period, your estrogen levels need to double. Otherwise, your stress levels will be off the chart. That's when your body and your cycle naturally for 5 days, your estrogen levels double. And what you need at that time, one of the things you need to be general about it, you need pair bonding. Pair bonding is where you go to someone, your doctor, your chiropractor, your archery teacher, your professor, whatever it might be, somebody who has something that you need you can't give to yourself. That's called pair bonding. And that, of course, the most powerful pair bonding is romance, where you're getting that affection and that focus from a guy and getting empathy and understanding from a guy. It's a massive pair bonding experience, particularly for those 5 days. And when you don't get it during those 5 days, and it starts, you have your periods over. For 5 days after that, your estrogen levels are starting to rise again. So you're not feeling your needs too strongly. You're feeling quite independent, and you're getting what you need. And then suddenly it doubles, and your need for pair bonding for those 5 days doubles. And that's why your mood can shift, and that's where you feel the need for a man the most. That's where you'll feel your disappointment the most if you don't have a man. And if you don't get pair bonding, it doesn't have to be with a man. You can go out and find pair bonding. Somebody has something that you need, and you give something to get it. Then if that need is not fulfilled, then for the next 18 days, your body basically feels incomplete. It's like you missed a meal, and all afternoon you're going, I didn't eat. And this is very challenging. But after that 5 days, then your main need at that time is for progesterone. And progesterone is produced by social bonding and by self-nurturing. So that's where you have to become less dependent on men. But it's during those 5 days, and if you're already beyond menopause, it's during much around the full moon. That's where you want to make sure, if you can, to have some sort of pair bonding experience, because then it frees you for the rest of the 18 days after that, to give yourself permission to do self-nurturing. I remember we talked about women today are so busy taking care of everybody else, they don't nurture themselves. And particularly for women who are really in their male side during the day, that means they're making testosterone. Well, your body can't make progesterone when you're making testosterone. Your testosterone uses up progesterone, actually made out of the same subset of material. So if you're making testosterone, you can't make estrogen. So what you have to do is lower your progesterone levels. Lower your testosterone levels to come back to your female side, estrogen, And then you have to make progesterone. So this is all tricky. That's why I wrote a whole book on this, is that you need to be able to come back to your female. And there's two, it's like pink and blue of female. One side of your female side says, I'm going to take care of me, and I'm going to be a socialite, have lots of friends, and have fun. That's progesterone. And then there's the pure estrogen side in the first part of the cycle, which is where you feel your need for pair bonding. And that particularly doubles right around 5 days after your periods. For those 5 days, it's like it's the best time to eat your meal, so to speak. If you miss that, then you're kind of out of balance for the rest of the month. So that's key stuff to know, and that's why I wrote a whole book on that. But the flip side of this is this whole cycle gets thrown off because we're getting these xenoestrogens in the body. So the key with xenoestrogens is to make sure that you're doing things to detoxify the body, to get those pesticides out. And that's my nutritional side of this whole thing. And I've got lots of videos on that at my website. And I'd just be remiss if I didn't tell women that, because there's a lot you can do within yourself to balance your hormones. And then there's a lot you do in your relationships.